Welcome to another episode of Nightmare Stories of the Otherside, a podcast where we talk about paranormal encounters, experiences, investigations, and everything in between, told by fellow investigators and enthusiasts. Tonight, I am your host, and I'm accompanied by my co-host Matthew, and we are also being joined by Katie Page, a renowned spiritual researcher and investigator, alongside Jesse Hawthorne, an investigator, Reiki master, and so much more. So how are you guys doing today?
Doing great. Thank you so much for having us here.
Of course.
On your podcast again. It's always a pleasure to be here and hanging out.
For sure.
I lost count. Right. I lost count how many times I've been on now.
I think, Jess, you've probably been on 12 times, I'm guessing.
12, or this may be lucky number 13.
I don't know. Katie, I think this is what, number 3 or number 4?
Number 3, I think. So that's lucky too.
And it is podcast episode number 125.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
That's awesome.
All right.
Time sure is flying.
It does.
Yeah. So I have a question for both of you. Since this podcast is more so geared towards like UFOs, UAPs, like extraterrestrial life, what first sparked your interest in this topic?
You want to go first, Katie?
You go first, Jesse.
Okay. Well, when I was 5 years old, I saw an extraterrestrial gray in my backyard. So we had like wooded area, and there was like a creek on the one side, and I was just outside playing because that's what we did way back in the day instead of iPads. And I heard like rustling by the bushes, and I looked over and I saw like the top half of the head of an ET extraterrestrial gray. And it like moved one way and then it moved another. And then I just remember like being freaked out and terrified and wanting to scream. And I have no memory of what happened. So that memory resurfaced a couple years ago. And I've been having more and more resurface, which I don't remember the last time I saw you, Katie, if I was able to talk about too much of that stuff or not. But ever since I've been a kid, like, in the country, stars, always looking up, seeing weird stuff. I almost cussed. So seeing weird stuff in the sky all the time, and then having that happen when I was 5. I've always been drawn to UFOs.
Yeah, that for sure will spark your interest, Jesse. And no, you did not share that with me. So I'm glad you're able to come forward and talk about it now. That's really important.
Yeah.
And, something, as I was researching the book for Dr. Leo Sprinkle, which, he worked with experiencers for over 40 years. Oh, wrong book.
Yeah.
And we did this book, Letters of Love and Light. He talks about early childhood visitation and kind of all these steps that he saw over and over and over again. And I'll send that information to you, but he called it the packs. And I feel like you're so much on that journey. So I will send that to you. I think you'd find it interesting.
Okay, cool.
But, yeah. But for me, when I was a young girl as well out here in Colorado, my mom started dating a gentleman that owned a ranch out in Elbert County, Colorado. And it very much mirrors the Skinwalker Ranch in Utah. In fact, it was known as a Clearview Ranch back in the day. It predates the infamous Skinwalker Ranch by over 15 years. So a lot of stuff was going on there: animal mutilations, UFOs, orb sightings, paranormal things, strange noises, humming sounds, all sorts of things. I didn't live there full time, but it was for a 3-year period. I had a lot of the hitchhiker phenomenon, a lot of paranormal things going on at our home, which was an hour away. And, fast forward, started getting hooked on ghost hunters and all the ghost shows, learned about MUFON, which you're wearing the t-shirt. I
Merfoot
became a,
shirt, yep.
yeah. So I joined MUFON as a field investigator, became the Colorado State Director, and was involved with them for many years. And then I bought this book, Hunt for the Skinwalker, and started reading about the ranch in my childhood. And it's been just a rabbit hole ever since, just trying to find answers to a lot of experiences.
Wow, that's awesome. So, Jesse, have you attended Contact in the Desert?
No, but I want to.
Okay.
It's like, oh
Okay.
man.
So, Katie, you have.
Yeah, I've been a speaker
All
there
right.
yeah.
Okay, so before attending it the first time, what did you expect it to be like, look like, and feel like?
Oh, interesting question. I like that question. Nobody's ever asked that before. I've been to many, conferences, UFO conferences, both as an attendee and as a speaker. So, Contact in the Desert is the granddaddy of them all. And back in the day, it used to be held out, in the desert in Joshua Tree. So I always heard stories about, the heat and hanging out in the tents and all that. And I'm so thankful that it is now in a wonderful air-conditioned resort. It's beautiful. But we had over 3,000 people. So, you're just go, go, go for 5 days straight. Never a dull moment. It's a lot of fun, and it kind of lives up to its reputation of being the big conference, in the United States for sure. So I hope to see Matthew and Jesse out there, and you as well next year. It's a lot of fun. You guys should all make it out west.
Yeah.
Never been
Definitely
out
on the
west.
list at some point.
I think furthest
So,
west I've been was Omaha.
oh,
That's boring.
Omaha. No, Nebraska's great.
so how did you first hear about Contact?
Contact in the Desert? Gosh, I don't know, maybe 7 years ago. You just kind of know about it when you're in the field. You know about the biggest conference, and so I guess just through social media. Yeah.
So now that you explain it being a lot better than what it used to be, a lot more comfortable than it used to be, how would you describe it to someone who's never been before?
I would describe it as you arrive, and once you set your foot right there at the event, you are in a whirlwind nonstop for as late as you want, 1, 2. It's just like a big gathering of people from all around the world who have the same interests as you do. And there's just so many places you can hang out and get to know people, see the presentations, see films, go to, all the different events they have out there. Chris Bledsoe did a Skywatch out there. There's just something for everybody, no matter what your interests are. So, and there's, dining there, and I don't know, it's just a nonstop party, I guess, of being
Wow.
around people you like.
And
Right?
knowledge and
You guys have
learning.
been to conferences. It's that on steroids. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, was there a specific presentation that you've attended that really altered something or maybe changed some of your beliefs?
That's a good question as well. Oh, I'm so busy all the time, but some of the most impactful lately, because this last year it was all about psi games and the
Hmm.
telepathy tapes, and that was kind of the theme. So I really did enjoy learning, and I think Matthew and Jesse would agree with me as far as the phenomenon goes. The more and more I learn and research and read, the more I think we as the experiencers play a very, very important role in the phenomena itself. So I really did like Dr. Campbell talked a lot about just the power of manifestation
Hmm.
in paranormal experiences and UFO experiences and that. So I think I learned the most from that, and from these kids that are nonverbal autistic children that have really powerful senses. The senses for telepathy has really been opened up for these kids, and
Hmm.
they're there with their mothers and people and just demonstrating the gifts that they have. And I just think that's so incredible, and I'm glad it's finally being researched and really getting paid attention to, because I think a lot of the answers for a lot of these different phenomenon, even cryptids for that matter, cryptids, paranormal, UFOs, really there's a lot of answers to be found there in psi abilities.
I got to see them in May at the Contact
Yeah,
Modalities
yeah, definitely. Do
Expo,
you
so
believe?
that was cool.
Wow.
What did you see? What did you experience? I'm curious.
Well, it was definitely like I've known about the telepathy tapes for a couple years now, and Caroline Corey has her, I think it's called Superhuman, her one film. So I kind of had already had an idea about it with the nonverbal and blindfolding children, but they're able to put the red ball in the red cup or go around like the cones, even though they can't see or hear anything. They're just able to do it, which is fascinating to me, and it always made me think of like when I was younger, um, I don't know why, but I really, really, really wanted to be telepathic. So I would literally put shapes on like index cards and I would try to like guess what shape it was. And this, I was in like middle school, I think, middle school or high school when I started doing that to myself.
Nice.
You
So
made
it's
your own set of
definitely fascinating.
what are they called? Zener cards, I think. I think that's the name of them. Yeah, like in Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where my mind went to right away.
She would guess the wrong answer, but oh, she got it right, and then the other guy would get shocked. That's
Yeah.
classic.
Oh, that's funny.
So aside from Dr. Campbell, was there any other speakers that you've come into contact with that really like altered your like beliefs again, or have they just like contributed to your belief system?
Well, for me personally, I love documents and research and archives and things like that. So I'm always drawn to the speakers out there that I know really do due diligence. I have a harder time when it's, a hate to, just like a this happened to me, trust me, with no evidence behind it. So Richard Dolan's always a great one. He was there virtually this year. Um, that's always a great person that I go to I trust that he does his due diligence in the research. So that's important.
Yeah. Have you had any conversations with people outside of the like hired speakers that have really stuck with you? Maybe like encounters people have shared with you or just beliefs?
Hmm. I mean, yeah, I'm friends with a lot of the speakers that are there, and I think just as a collective, when you take everybody's research as a whole, everybody's experience as a whole, there's a lot to be learned from everybody, you know, and that's true with all the podcasts that are out there too. That I think it's really important, and I think it's wonderful that we're all able to have these discussions and conversations. Uh-oh, forgot to turn down my phone. Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
So. Uh,
Aside from like 20
but
years ago, and God forbid if you say anything about like a UFO or ghosts or something,
True.
everyone thinks you're nuts.
But hey, maybe we are nuts, but that's good.
I was actually just talking to somebody about this, how I was always adamant about Freemasons are real, Area 51 is real. And everybody's like, what are you on? That stuff does not exist. And then I remember, I think it was 2013, Obama said, Area 51 exists. And everybody was like, what? And I'm like, I told you.
Right?
Matthew, do you have on a Fergie hoodie?
A what? No, it's
Oh,
it's a football player.
oh, I thought your hoodie said Fergie.
Nope.
Sorry, okay.
That's funny.
So I'm gonna try to reel us back in. So with everyone being there, your mind holds so much power. With everyone being there and being so like concentrated on extraterrestrial life, on like they're kind of on that resonation, that energy level. Is the atmosphere any different within like the convention center than it is outside?
Um, yeah, it's funny we were walking. So part of the event, yeah, you do have to walk outside eventually, but you have the main hotel and then you have like the films and more speakers. You walk outside past the swimming pool and all that stuff. And we were actually walking to the other building and we were with the Y-Files brother Gino, so he's with the Y-Files, and we're walking to the building and we're looking up and we're like, what the heck is that? It's just this round silver, like, or I'm like, no, it's a plane. No, it's not a plane. We're watching the thing. We grabbed a camera at the end, so we do have a picture of it, but the thing just vanished. It wasn't a balloon. It wasn't a plane. It wasn't a drone. It was one of those moments. So you do hear that. You hear
Yeah.
those kind of sightings at events like this. Have you ever experienced that, you guys? At any
Oh,
So
of
I
your
have a
events?
lot.
well,
Yeah.
what was it? God, I think it was 3 or years ago. I was coming back from a birthday party for my youngest daughter, and about a mile from her house, not even that, like right above our Applebee's, I see like these five lights, like in a perfect row, and one by one they just started disappearing. I'm like, I pulled over to see
Oh,
if I
that's
could see them
cool.
again, but it's like, where'd they go? And it's like they were like big balls of light, and it's just like for
Yeah.
them just to like disappear one after another was just like, what in the hell was that?
I wonder if it was a Starlink. Did you check the satellite stuff? Because Starlinks can be in a line like that when
Yeah,
they're
but no,
launched,
this was
and
like
they
I've seen Starlink before outside our
it was
house,
different.
but these were like 10 times bigger than Starlink and way
Oh,
lower. They were like just
wow.
above the tree line.
Oh, wow.
That's
That's
cool.
amazing. That's cool.
Well, Matt got to experience his first CE5 with me last month.
Yep, that was
That was
awesome.
fun. Yeah, we did it at Ashmore Estates. We did it in the backs. So yeah, definitely got some cool footage. I had one of them actually power up a couple times. I did post that on my Facebook, but it was just cool because I didn't see it at first, and I was like, "Could you please do it again?" And then it did it again, and I was like, "Oh my God, thank you! That's so awesome!" And every time I was asking it to do it again, it would kept doing it. So I think it powered up like 3 or 4 times on video. It was cool.
Wow.
I saw your post about that. That was really good footage. Really
Thanks.
good. Yeah.
It was
And they
fun.
will do that. It's like they're intelligently communicating with you. You ask them to do and they
Yep.
brighten. And yeah. So
Or was it
that was
last
a great catch.
Saturday for like our local Maple Grove days here? The last thing they do is they always have a firework display. Well, after the fireworks got done, we're just sitting looking at the sky. We saw two. They were like legit going side by side, and then they started racing. One started going faster, then slowing down. The other started going faster. It's like they're racing each other. It was awesome.
Wow. That's so interesting, Matthew, because when I was an investigator for MUFON, the 4th of July, obviously, we'd get an influx of reports coming in across the country. And of course, a lot of those can be drones, airplanes,
Yeah,
even misidentified fireworks. But I have to tell you, there were, I mean, 90% of cases that came in, we could identify, whether it's Starlink or those things I
yeah.
just mentioned. But for some reason, I do think if we have extraterrestrial visitors, they like the fireworks. I think they're
Oh,
curious just like
yeah.
anybody else and they come down because we did have a lot of unexplained sightings on the 4th of July. Some really cool cases come in on that date. So I just wanted to mention that. It's
Right.
like,
Or
oh,
then like last October when we had that outburst of the Northern Lights. It's like, Jesse saw stuff, you saw stuff out in
hmm
Colorado.
mm-hmm.
Like I saw
Yeah,
stuff in video I was doing up here, so it was everywhere.
right. Yeah.
Wow. I've yet to experience like any kind of extraterrestrial contact. So, I'm getting like FOMO from your conversations. um, so I'm kind of closing out with the contact in the desert question. So the last one that I have is, do you believe that a skeptical person would still enjoy the convention?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm one of those people that I really do appreciate and like the skeptics. I think it's needed. I think a healthy dose of skepticism is always welcome, and I actually would encourage skeptics to go to contact in the desert because I think they would walk away with at least, the door cracked open to like, all right, because we get judged unfairly, like, oh, that's a convention of a bunch of crackpots and tinfoil
hmm
hats and this and that. No, no, it's not. A lot of scientific PhDs, well researched, well read, very serious people attend Contact in the Desert and other conferences as well. So I always encourage skeptics go just see what it's about. Yeah.
It's great. So, kind of shifting gears, when did your experiences first start?
I kind
Uh,
of said mine already.
Yeah.
5 years old, Jesse. There was a story. So I'm originally from Illinois, and my grandparents lived in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. So oftentimes we would go from our home in Illinois over to see my grandparents. And I am too little to remember this, but around Thanksgiving and Christmas, the story goes that we were coming home from Lake Geneva. We were in Richmond, Illinois. Do you know where Richmond, Illinois is across the
I've
border there,
passed through it,
Wisconsin?
yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that's, where it was. But my mom said we had an old Buick and we pulled over the car and she said there was an oblong shaped craft
Oh.
just right treetop level. She said there was a billboard right by where we pulled over, and she said we sat there for a while, watched this thing. It shot off, and got back on the road to get back home. And she said I was like catatonic after that. I was like mesmerized by the
Oh,
lines in the
wow.
road, and they're like, Katie, 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 come to, come to. And so that story gets repeated. And then my grandfather had a sighting over Lake Como in Wisconsin of an oblong shaped craft as well that was investigated by J. Allen Hynek.
Oh.
So interestingly enough, it's kind of a generational thing within the family. My mom, she passed 2 years ago. Actually, yesterday was 2 years ago, but she was very interested in the UFO topic as well. Had a heavy interest in it because of those sightings and my grandfather's sighting. So these experiences tend to run in families. Is that true with you as well, Jesse? With yours?
I'm adopted.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know. My mom has always like been interested in this type of stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
she did Skywatch with me, and I've actually um um eighth grade, it was a talent contest. So I was doing like an Irish dance thing, and we were driving home from that. And I'm in the back seat. I'm just looking out the window to look at the sky. So I'm like, doing one of those. And I was like, Mom, stop the car. And there was this, it was like a brilliant white light, like ball of light. And it wasn't a star because I could see it moving like kind of with us.
Hmm.
And I had her stop the car, and as we stopped the car, it shot straight up. And she says that she remembers that, but she didn't get a chance to see that because it
Yeah,
shot up before she could actually see it.
right.
Um,
Wow.
so if my bio parents had anything like experiences, I have no idea. I don't even know who they
Mhm.
are.
Yeah, how interesting.
So now that we've covered your first stories, I'd like you both to walk us and the viewers through your most memorable experience start to finish.
Huh. Oh God, I gotta pick one. Katie, you probably gotta pick one too.
Oh,
Um,
I'm gonna pick something that I know people are gonna go, oh, it has to be because I'm beyond Skinwalker with the disembodied electronic voice and all the things I experienced then. I encountered a blue orb in that, but lately, since my mom passed away, actually, so she passed 2 years ago yesterday,
mhm.
and it was the weekend after she passed away. We have a string of lights outside here at this house on our back deck, just right down here, actually. And my son Jesse was over, and we were just sitting out, mourning, talking about grandma, doing that thing. And all of a sudden, so it's a string of six lights. Well, six of them started kind of communicate. We didn't think much of it. I'm like, maybe it's like something's wrong with the strand of lights or something like that. But since that, for 2 years now, on very significant times in my life, whether, if I'm really stressed out, having a bad day, or it's somebody's birthday. So it just happened. My oldest son, Dustin, just had his birthday. And I was only 19 years old when I had my first son. And so I was remembering, I'm like, hey, remember, Mom, you were with me in the delivery room when I had Dustin? And they started again, just the one. And now I
Aw.
have one that does like a Morse code. So these lights continue to communicate with me, almost like Stranger Things. But it's
Okay.
really strange because what's frustrating, and I think this is true with any paranormal events, I'm like, first of all, I'm not for sure it's my mom, but I think it is just because based on the timing of when she
Yeah.
passed, and that's when they started and things like that. but I'm having a hard time like flash them all red or flash them, a certain, and it's inconsistent. It's not consistent. So
Mm.
it's like, I want solid proof that yes, this is mom, like, what are you trying to say to me? And what's really crazy is the one bulb, because I've recorded it many times. I need to run it through like a chat GPT or something, because I'm wondering if it's Morse code, and I wonder if it would pick up a message of something she's trying to get across. So I still need to do that. I should do that this week. Like take all the
Interesting.
video footage. I think
Yeah,
chat would be able to do that, wouldn't it? Like just focus on the one light and see if there's a Morse code
maybe, I'm
message
not
in there.
sure.
But so that to me, this, because it's been going on now consistently for 2 years. And it's just, and I grab my phone, I record it, and I'm just trying to figure it out. So it's like this long running spiritual kind of communication that's been going on. And now we're like, he's like, well, let's take down the lights and put up new one. I'm like, no, no, don't touch the lights.
Yeah,
Leave the lights. I got to figure this out.
Oh,
So that's
that's
my answer.
funny.
I know it's probably a surprising answer, but because it's happening now, I
No, that's
guess.
really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
My uncle that was like a second father to me, he passed almost exactly 3 months ago, and I know 90 days is the time frame from all of my psychic medium friends before you
Mhm.
can try to contact, your loved one. So I'm like, am I ready to do that? I don't know, but so like, yeah, I get the anniversary thing. That's
Mhm.
really cool though. Like, I
Yeah.
hope my mom does that when it's her time. I guess, well, my most, I guess you could say, profound, because I've had so many, and even just in May, I did several sky watches with Chris Bledsoe, and we were on the Beast of Bray Roads farm, like Lee Hempel, like so we were there and everything, and saw so much amazing stuff. But one of the ones that sticks out the most was my very first CE5 back in 2020. um, the group that I run now was ran by somebody else. And so I watched the Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, all that stuff, and started doing it in here, like in the room I'm in, and nothing ever really happened. I'd go outside and I'm in an apartment building, so I can't really see the sky. So I was so excited to go down south to like the Moni area, kind of where I'm from, to see the stars. So I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so fun. And he actually got Ed Moen to come. Ed Moen's the one that on Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, he got his hearing healed by an ET. So ever since I think he was like 16, he had to wear hearing aids. Like his senior picture, you can see like the hearing aids and everything. And he went to his first CE5 in 2017 and got healed. So I was very excited to meet him, to um, come in contact with somebody that, because I've always heard stories of how the phenomena can heal. So I'm like, oh, that would be really cool to talk to somebody that's experienced that. So we were doing our CE5, and we were seeing like flashes everywhere. And we saw a couple power-ups and a couple different orbs that were floating around the woods and stuff by us. And I just thought this. I was facing a field, and there were these kind of pine trees off to the side. And I was just like, man, thinking in my head, that would be so cool if you guys could appear over there. Sure enough, this like golden orange UFO, it was like this shape. So it was kind of like pointed but not, and rounded at the ends,
hmm,
just literally shot out of the trees. Like it literally looked like it was chilling in the tree line, and it shot off and disappeared. I was like, holy crap, you guys, did anybody see that? Nobody else saw it. And I was like, okay, so I think that was for me, because I literally had that thought. That would be really
yeah,
cool if you appeared over there, and that happened. Like, of course, there were no video cameras pointed that way, but that's how it always goes.
right.
Right.
So that was my first, because it was like 200, 300 feet away from me, and only like 100 feet off the ground. That's really close.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not like the lights you see way up in the sky. That's really close. So that was really, really cool.
So during these experiences, can you recall like the emotions that you felt while it was happening?
Excitement.
For me, it's frustration with the lights because I'm frustrated because I want it to be precise. Like when I say I want a response, like, come on, ghosts, I want to know who you are. Well, we've had a lot of people pass. As you get older, you lose a lot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I mean, Doesn't it seem like that to you guys? Like it seems like we're just losing people left and right.
Yep.
So I'm like going down the list. Is this, is this, is this? So I get frustrated. What's happening? But it feels protective. It feels protective because it feels like, okay, I feel like what the message is just intuitively is because it's usually like something new or I'm having a bad day or I'm worried about something. And it's always like it's gonna be okay. Like it's
Yeah.
gonna be
Hmm.
okay. Just I'm here. I'm here. You got people on the other side. We have that's what it feels like to me. So
That's
it's
cool.
frustrating, but also positive
Yeah.
Right.
and exciting.
So, since experiencing these like really profound experiences, pretty much, have you noticed a shift in your understanding of what reality is itself?
Mm, she's going deep.
Ah.
Okay. Yeah, more and more and more, oh, my middle son won't like this because he's like, oh, I don't believe that at all. But I really feel like we're in a game. Like this is, yeah, just
Yeah.
because of the synchronicities beyond
Oh
what your
yeah.
mind can comprehend. Like this has to be something else. There's more to this reality than I can possibly explain. And I can tell you, I don't know if I've shared it on this podcast before, but if I have, I apologize. Um, but the biggest synchronicity that ever happened to me in my life. So I have a half brother who has also passed away, but he burnt down a couple of our homes. I think you know about this, Jesse and Matthew. And so um, he actually burnt down. We bought a house in Lake Geneva next to my grandparents, and he burnt down that house before we moved into it. I have the newspaper article. And I was speaking at a conference in San Francisco, and I've spoken at many conferences. Never before did I ever put anything about my half brother Gary in a presentation about the fire and about trauma. And the reason it was in the presentation at all is because I was talking about how disassociation and trauma or near death experiences can actually disconnect you from your physical body and it puts you out in the ethers and you have more paranormal things happen to you in your life if you're one of those people who well think about it if you have a lot of trauma in your life and my father sorry dad he's also passed but he was an alcoholic and some days he was a really happy father to be around he was out of my life when I was 6 my parents divorced really young but when he could be also violent right so you need to gauge
Yeah.
which dad's walking through the front door, violent dad or happy dad. So you get this really intuitive side to you. Anyway, so I'm at the conference, and it just so happened to be that um, uh, Jay Paul Hynek was there, and another woman was there from Illinois. She actually helped design the interior of the space shuttle. Her name's Mary. So we were talking about being from Illinois and how Illinois is a hot spot for paranormal stuff, right? Jesse knows.
Yep.
And I for some reason, started talking about my brother and she goes, "You're kidding me." She goes, "My family's second home in Lake Geneva was burnt down." And so we were starting to pull up newspaper
Wow.
articles and all that. It was the same year as my brother started lighting fires in Lake Geneva. So there I was giving this presentation. My half brother burnt down Mary's family's home in the early 1960s in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Here I am giving a presentation with that. So I get down off the stage. I have tears in my eyes. She has tears in her eyes. I hug her and I said, "My brother, sorry for burning down your house."
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
How
That's
does that
awesome.
even happen? That
Yeah,
it doesn't happen.
that's
So that
awesome.
makes me think we're living in a virtual reality, a game, or something else. And this
Mm.
isn't the only time that's happened. These kind of synchronicities happen over and over and over again, where you just have to go, okay, this is beyond anything that could possibly happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I guess my belief system has been kind of changing a little bit. And so I grew up Catholic, went to CCD and all that stuff, and I had I guess you could say a real hatred for Bible, God, all that stuff most of my life because of the Catholic stuff. And so my friend Chris Fleming, he always talks about Jesus and the creator and stuff like that and all the experiences he's had. Ed Moen, who is a good friend of mine now after meeting him. He talks to me about how he talks to Jesus. And then we have Chris Bledsoe, if anybody knows his story. He has the lady and he has godly experiences, and his book is called UFO of God. So I have all these people that I know and I trust talking about this stuff, and it's been kind of warping my belief system a little bit because I've been very, I don't want to say agnostic. Like I know there's like a source, a creator, but I always thought Jesus was just a person in a book that was made up. That was my view. And now I'm coming to realize like, oh my God, it's so much more than that. Like Christ consciousness, which is pretty much like collective consciousness, and all these different people in the spiritual and UFO community, like Contact Modalities talks about this stuff a lot. Um, Me and my BFF Michelle at Contact Modalities last year, she scheduled massages for us because it's a resort. It was like 10:30 in the morning on the last day. So we're in our robes in the waiting room, and I literally look at her. I'm like, dude, I don't know, like with Ed, Chris, you, and now Chris, because that was when I first got to meet Chris. I was like, everybody's talking about Jesus. I think I'm starting to believe that. Who walks in a robe? Chris Bledsoe. So he walks in the room as I say that, and we look at each other like, are you freaking kidding me right now?
Oh.
Yeah, so that was like hilarious, but also it was it felt like a synchronicity, like a yes, you're on the right path. Yes, you're in the right thinking. So I'm like, okay, interesting. So I've been, I guess you could say praying a little bit more. I never have ever really done that. I mean, manifesting's kind of praying, but like I do it differently than I've ever done before and in like a different light and I guess a different mood. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but like it's different now than 2 years ago. So that's been my, I don't know, belief system shift.
So, have you noticed your experiences becoming more frequent over the years?
Um, I don't know. I think it depends. Yes and no. Because like there's times where it's like I guess you could say dead. Nothing really happens. I've had CE5s that weren't that successful. I've gone on investigations where nothing happened. And then there's times where it like picks up, and it's like the myth of when you're investigating like for ghost stuff. Like it's like the switch is on and oh my God, all this stuff is happening, and then poop, gone. And everybody's like, well, where'd everybody go? Like that happens a
Right.
lot with me just in
Yeah.
with CE5s or even well, luckily nothing really happens in here, knock on wood. Because I protect the space and everything. But there was this one time, I don't know if something followed me home or what, but I was getting like knocking noises and stuff was getting misplaced or moved. And Steve would be like, babe, did you take, this or that from the studio? I'm like, no, I've been in there days. Why? I put it there and I can't find it. And then a day or two later, it pops up somewhere random. So, like, stuff like that started happening. And then I was doing the dishes and I got the feeling to look over my shoulder. So I looked over my shoulder and I had some bananas that were upside down, like on the toaster. I literally watched them go floop and get flopped over and on the
Jeez.
counter. And I'm like, uh, babe. And he's like, what? I'm like, get in here like right now. And I told him what happened. And I was like, okay, it doesn't feel threatening, but thank you for that. That was interesting.
That's
For me,
cool.
it comes and goes. I think it really speaks to how we can play a role in the manifestation of these encounters or experiences. Because when I'm super distracted, for example, when I was younger and raising my kids and just doing, going to baseball, going to hockey, going to here, going to there, doing the thing, got to get the dinner, got to get the homework, got to not a lot. I mean, I still had some experiences, like the orb experiences. I mean, my kids were probably middle school, high school years when that happened. But when you're really involved, just like Jesse says or Matthew said, when you're involved and you're doing investigations, you're doing the research, you're really just focused in on it, it picks up. So
Hmm.
there's definitely an ebb and flow. You can turn it on, turn it off. And the more you're focused on these things and the more you're, out there investigating and you're on site, it picks up. So yeah, I think focus and intent plays a big role in the phenomena itself.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. So for my next question, I know that it can be different with everyone, just the same as it is for like Bigfoot hunters, ghost hunters, stuff like that. How do you guys like to document your sightings? Do you like journaling them, recording them? How do you like to record?
I
It's
suck
funny.
at that right now.
Well, you need my new books I'm working on, Jesse. So I'm, as we speak, creating a 3-book series, one for cryptids, one for paranormal, and one for
Oh, nice.
UAPs, where
Awesome.
you journal and document. And it's going to be from everything I learned from, state director and all the research and stuff I've done. So it's not just going to be a record of your sighting and the time and location and all that, but it's going to be what was your mood? What did you eat? What was the phases of the moon? All these
Oh,
kind of things.
cool.
So they're going to be out in the next couple months. So
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm
That's so
definitely gonna
cool.
get those.
that's how, but in
Like
the
if I
meantime, yeah.
think about it, I'll record it, but there's times where I see something, I'm like, oh, that was awesome, and then don't do anything.
I'm the same way.
In the case.
Definitely.
It's like, damn it, why didn't I record that? Oh, well.
Why not? There's like things like, whether it be like taking a picture or recording something, it's like I'll regret not taking the picture or,
Mhm.
finishing the recording, stopping early. And it's just like,
Yeah.
damn it.
Yeah, like here's this was the June 29th. Here's how I record them, right? This was the lights. I
Okay,
don't know if you guys
cool.
could see that. Hold
Yep.
on. I gotta hit play or turn up the volume. It is July 7th, Friday night. Oh, that's the July 17th one. No, the June 29th one. Here we go. So watch, you can see. Stopped. So this is the first, they were just going crazy. And what's interesting, wait, I was trying to communicate.
You're good.
I think today's July 17th. Oh, wait, this is July one. July 17th. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me get back to June 29th.
They're like, no, we don't want you to show people.
Here's the here they are. This was a June 29th one. Let me turn it up so you can hear. And the lights just flashed a little bit and then they went solid again. Oh, like kind of like this. And I came out here and I said, I'm trying to be
Oh,
quick.
wow.
Hey, Mom, is that you? I said, remember you were in the delivery room with me when I had Dustin. I said, are you here to wish Dustin a happy birthday?
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hi, Grandma. If that's you, can you flash them all red? Wishing Dustin. Oh, thank you.
Oh, that's so cool.
That
Wow.
is.
Wow.
So that's how I document on my phone.
That's
Grab your phones.
awesome.
Grab your phones.
Yep.
Yeah, I have a lot on there. Yeah, if
So-
something flies off your wall or the bananas fly off your toaster, grab your
Well-
phone, take a picture of the bananas, and just
What
write,
was
okay,
that,
so
like-
it's 2:30 and the bananas just flew off my toaster.
Like, how long ago was that, Jesse? I sent you the picture. Like, I'm sitting at my desk at 6 in the morning. And
Oh,
like
yeah.
right above me, I have like the heat air conditioning vent. And where you can't see, I got 2 shelves with stuff on it. And I have a Lego figurine that I made for myself and for Natalie just sitting up there on the shelf. And the Lego figurine of myself flew off the shelf and landed on my desk. And it's like, it's been there for 2 years and it's never done that before. It's like, oh, hello. It was just like, I just kind of looked at him like, I'm just like, what about what I was doing? I'm just like, okay, that's just kind of random.
I try to say thank you nowadays if anything happens. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at my friend Jenny's house a couple weekends ago, and she was hosting an event, and I swear I heard knocking, like 4 knocks, and I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, oh, maybe somebody's here. So I went and opened the front door. Nobody was there. And I was like, well, that's interesting. Well, thank you for that. So, like, even a voice or anything, I try to say thank you, that I'm appreciative for whatever it is allowing me to experience that.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of
That's
like
really smart.
the last couple of days when we're up in Duluth, Natalie and my wife, they went shoe shopping or they were somewhere and I was back at the Airbnb room that Natalie and I were staying in, and she comes back and she said she was playing with necrophonics, and she got the name Mary come across her a couple times, and she's like, I don't know why I'm getting Mary. I'm like, well, that's the lady that runs the ship that we're going to be going on pretty soon.
Oh,
Oh,
And
wow.
she's just
wow.
like, really? I'm like, yeah.
That's
So it kind
cool.
of correlated
Wow.
with what we were going to be doing.
That's like I was investigating the Jarrett House downtown Dillsboro a few weeks ago, and I it's like we were like debating whether the activity there was intelligent or if it was residual. And like we would get random names just because my favorite investigation method is just to ignore it, just kind of go about like you're just hanging out and see if they try to butt in. And so
Mm-hmm.
we're sitting there, and then we get names like Walter or Robert come across the Ovulus, and I was just like, that's weird, whatever. And I was like, that's not relevant. And then we keep talking, and then sure enough, 5 minutes later, we'd be talking about a guy named Robert, and it's like they were kind of like telling us what we were going to end up talking about,
Yeah.
which
Yep.
was really crazy, but it was great because we had some first-time investigators with us, and that really kind of like helped me show like how the perception of time with us and the dead is completely different.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a great experience. So now that you guys have kind of grown as investigators, and now that you know way more than you did whenever you started, is there any of like your early on experiences that you may interpret different now that you've gotten more of a broader understanding of everything?
Sure, for sure for me. Something so for the Rocky Mountain Ranch of my childhood years and what was featured on Beyond Skinwalker, one of the questions I've always had is how much of it was actual paranormal experience, how much of it was black access military projects. And given a little bit of history now, of my half brother, who ended up after the second house fire here in Colorado, he was sent away to Pueblo State. Well, I'm a co-host on a podcast called UAP Studies, and we had a guest on, and he was talking about the Gateway tapes. And so I'm like, oh, Gateway tapes. I love binaural beats. I'm going to start listening to the Gateway tapes. So I'd put on the headphones and listen. The third one in, it reminded me of a program I was put into as a young child right after my ranch years. It was called the Biofeedback
Oh,
Institute. I'm actually just featured in a new film that's going to be, well, I think it's this week on Amazon called Psychic Agent, and where I'm discussing these tapes. These are the actual tapes from
oh,
when I was
cool.
young. And this Thomas H. Badinsky, who ran the
Wow.
Biofeedback Institute in the Denver Tech Center in Colorado and the university, but he worked with the Menninger Foundation, the Monroe Institute, and he was a navigational engineer at Area 51 and worked on the SR-71 Blackbird. So I come
Uh-huh.
across this documentary about the biofeedback program and Thomas H. Badinsky and all that information. And in that video, it's a very similar. So that brown leather chair in behind Matthew right now, I would go in and sit in this chair. They'd hook you up to little things on your hands, so you'd learn to lower and raise your temperature, headphones, and they would do these clicks. So you were taught to stay in a theta state.
Okay.
And I was like, ding, 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 ding. That would explain to me, because I had that for over a year, this biofeedback training when I was a child, why the phenomenon affected me and my big sister so differently. She did not have the hitchhiker stuff like I did. She doesn't lucid dream like I, all these paranormal things that follow me wherever I go. I think it's because I had the formal biofeedback theta training when I was a kid, which kind of
Wow.
opens up the gateway or the doorway to, like, astro traveling for me is so easy. Getting put under hypnosis is so easy. It's because of the training I had, where you're learning to relax every muscle, and it got rid of my migraine headaches. So yes, I thought that was an innocent program I was put in for the migraine headaches, but I think it was connected to deeper MK Ultra type
Wow.
of research, a Stargate program, the Gateway program, all that stuff. So I just recently made that connection like 6, 7 months ago. And it's been like,
That's
Wow.
cool.
that
Yeah.
has changed the
Oh, I'm
paradigm of
sure.
everything because it answers so much of the questions I had.
Mhm.
That's like
So
a
now I can quit and
synchronicity.
retire.
What's crazy is I've been like, how Facebook does Facebook stuff and shows you reels. I've been getting so many about the gateway tapes, and I'm like, what the F is this? I don't know if I've heard of this before. And then I'm watching them and I'm like, holy crap, I know what this is. I didn't know that's what it was called. Like
Hmm.
the researching, because like there's people have talked about like going to a special school and all of that when they were
Hmm.
younger and having all this stuff done. And
Hmm.
um I don't know if I have, but I still need to be regressed for several reasons.
Yeah.
But that's fascinating you brought that up because I think like the past couple days I've watched at least 10 or 12 Facebook reels on gateway stuff. Like what the hell?
Well, there's the Gateway program, the GATE program, which is
Yeah,
gifted and talented. So, and that's been a program that's, I mean, it started maybe even the late 60s and the
60s,
70s and
yeah.
80s. I mean, so thousands of kids are put into these GATE programs. But something I like to point out too, for me, it was the opposite. I was being pulled out, but I was being pulled out for like ADHD and
Mhm.
dyslexia and being hyperactive and all
Hmm.
that kind of stuff. And the trauma stuff and the parents divorcing. So I think they were targeting both sides of that. But the gateway tapes, so if you just do a search on like YouTube, you can do
Yeah,
the gateway tapes and do that. And I think you would like those a lot because they really help
interesting.
you astro travel.
Yeah, because I have a problem with that. So that's really interesting. Wow. Have you guys heard of the TV show Fringe?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
love that
Okay.
show.
Okay, I've been binging that all week and I watched it years ago
Yeah,
and now that I know
Oh
what I
my
know now,
God.
I'm like, "Whoa." No wonder
I
they canceled it.
I would love to watch it again, but I don't know where to find it.
Hulu. It's the only
Hulu?
place I can find it. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, to answer your question, Jada, sorry. I guess you could say my most I don't know, well, one of the things that I know now than what I used to think before. So growing up, I was on the Indian burial ground and saw the 8 to 10 foot tall black figures with like the red eyes and all of that all the time. And then I don't know, I don't want to call it being possessed, but having stuff happen to me or feeling certain ways that wasn't myself, that happened a lot. Um, I used to think that like there were demons in the woods all the time. And now that I know what I know now, and I'm just like, I don't think that was the case. It's definitely something different. I don't think it was the big D word. And one thing is that's interesting is a lot of stuff that is known for like Sasquatch and Bigfoot happened on that property. Like the red eyes, the big tall figures with red eyes, that's they see them a lot when they're, expeditions and everything. We had rocks thrown at us all the time. People get rocks thrown at them. I would be in the woods and this foul odor would just like envelop me and I'm like, oh my God. And I ran out of the woods, or I'd be in the woods and I would feel like you need to leave, like get the F out of here type of feeling. And so I don't know, all the stuff that I've been seeing about Bigfoot stuff correlates with what I experienced on that property too. So I'm
Mhm.
like, were there Sasquatch in the woods? I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. They are
Right.
everywhere, but that's one of the biggest, I guess you could say, shifts is going from there were demons in the woods to there are possibly Sasquatch in the woods.
Wow. Wow, that's so cool. I love just broadening, like learning about different cryptids. And I'm so quick to categorize stuff sometimes. And it's like every single location I've gone to this year, I've just learned about a different one every time I show up. So I'll be walking around in the woods, just like in my free time, and I'll kind of be thinking, and I'm like, maybe that's not a Sasquatch. Maybe that's not a ghost. Maybe that's like a Pukwudgie or something else, and it's just so interesting getting to
Oh,
learn
I've
about different
encountered
cryptids.
those.
Same here.
You have that?
Yeah, about 2 months ago now.
I don't know about this.
We'll talk about that later.
That's so cool. Okay, so have you had? Wait, did I already ask this one? Okay, tell me if I've already asked this because I lose track of what I say. What questions do you have about your own experiences that you still don't have answers to?
Oh.
Ooh, some
Good
good questions,
question.
Shada. Yeah.
I guess the big why, like what is it about me that all of this like has happened? Like
Mhm.
that my mom really wanted experiences and she's never had one. And then you have me who everything started when I was at like 5 years old, and then all the trauma that I've been through. Like you were, I'm actually in a book. What was it? It's transcending, but it's the correlation between trauma and the paranormal. I think it's transcending the darkness. Bill and Jackie Kuslos, they're working on that right now. So Bill's a psychologist, Jackie's like us, investigator, psychic, all that stuff. So they have been interviewing people that have had a lot of trauma in their lives, as well as paranormal experiences, and trying to find the correlation between the two. Because that is something I'm finding out now too, now that I've come out of the paranormal closet, is that a lot of people that have experiences throughout their lives have had really messed up stuff happen to them. So I'm finding that interesting. So part of me is like, I want to know, like, was I abducted when I was a kid and they did something to me and that's why all this weird shit happens all the time? Like, I would like to know why.
Mhm.
I want to know why the heck all the little teasing with people. Why, like, if there are spirits and ghosts or aliens or Sasquatch, just come out and like sit
Right?
out, say hey.
Right.
Like, why are you just egging us along for our whole lives?
Hmm.
I know there's a lot of theories why might,
Oh, my ear
why
just
that
started to
might
ring.
be. Uh-oh, you get that too. I get that too.
That's not good.
Yeah, that's random. Okay.
So yeah, that's my big question. And people would be surprised to know I'm more of a skeptic than most people believe. Like I
Mm,
think a lot of what we experience and what we see, we either manifest ourselves or it's Black Axis projects, it's our own
Yeah.
military. It says that being said, you know, there are some really, really good credible cases out there. So yes, I think we've been visited by actual craft. But why don't you just come on? Like we're ready, we can handle it. The
Oh, for
public can
sure.
handle it.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's my big question. Why? Why the secrecy
So
from
I
before
the
think
I
it's
aliens, not
probably
us?
because we're so fucking violent. That's why.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
that's
they're like,
That's,
I'm not gonna come to a planet that's just gonna murder me the second I get down here.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
like, and even if like they're already down here, but kind of like cloaking or masking themselves, then they're probably not wanting to come out because they're like, if I just like go out without my makeup on, they're all gonna murder me. Like I'm gonna be safe.
aliens
So
in
bad.
makeup. That's a new one. I haven't thought about that. I like that.
Oh,
So
that's too funny.
so before I go on with my new little bracket of questions, I don't have that many left, but I want to know if you've both experienced like CE5 or other like intentional connection methods. You have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So what happened during your first experience with these?
I
Was
actually
it?
already talked about that
Mm-hmm.
with the profound UFO that I saw with Edmo, and that was my first CE5 experience. So that, yeah, that was my experience, and that got me hooked.
I've
Wait.
had several throughout the years, and it's something I don't like to talk about a lot. But for me, when I just mentally quiet my mind, I'm just like, hey, just say hey, and I'll typically just have those thoughts inside my head. I don't verbalize it, and oftentimes it's just like a big, just like a whoop, a flash. I'll be like, hey, do it, and a flash, and a
Hmm.
flash, and then that's it. And but one experience we had, it was 3 years ago after contact in the desert. We went and did an interview, a really important interview with a witness, a couple witnesses in, it was called, oh God, something town, Western Town. Is that what it's called? Western Town? A little town in California, I'll think of it. Anyway, and there was nobody in this place. This was like very few people there. We went out and sat in a hammock, and we're just laying in the hammock, and it was like the cone of silence. I mean, just like I've never experienced that before. It was the craziest thing I've ever experienced in my life. Flash, flash, flash. And we're like, we gotta go. And then when the sound came up, this was the weird part. When the dog started barking, the sounds and the bugs started coming up, it was like somebody was turning the volume up like this really slowly.
Oh,
Oh,
And you could just hear like earth come back. It was like,
that's
what was
crazy.
that?
Mm.
We were so freaked out. We went right back to our room. It was crazy. But yeah, that was a really cool experience to have.
oh wow.
So yeah, I do that quite often, but again, you know, I I think
Yeah.
anybody, if you set your intention to do that, you'll be surprised at what responses you get back.
Yep.
Really.
Mm.
Wow. That's so cool. So, what role do you think that meditation plays in contacting extraterrestrial beings?
We can go inside and stop with the go, go, go that we're programmed to do. Like, my opinion is that since like the 50s, let's just say the governmental type of people have been getting us to pretty much, 40 hours a week, work week. You actually need two jobs now to afford anything. So everybody's so busy and like they don't have time to just sit and like be. And when you meditate, you can sit and be, and some people don't want to because their thoughts just keep going and going because that's what our brains are trained to do with like stupid TikTok and all of that crap where your attention span is very short.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're able to like kind of untrain your consciousness from doing that, you can actually go inward and A, work on yourself, and B, actually listen for if anything is trying to contact you. So I think I shouldn't be saying this because I suck at it, but I think meditation is very important and I need to do it more often.
That's great. Agreed. Ditto all that. It's very important.
All right. So, do you think that intention matters?
Yes.
Huge.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, the first one, like that I have, we've already kind of covered. Do you believe in UFOs and UAPs?
Yes.
Okay,
A hesitant
that's what I
yes.
thought.
Yes.
So, do you believe this is my last one because I didn't have much time to write questions. I am so sorry. But
You're good.
do you believe that there are like multiple forms of extraterrestrial life inhabiting the Earth right now?
Oh, inhabiting the earth, like walking among us?
Yeah,
Hmm.
or occasionally visiting.
Occasionally
I
visiting.
do.
Yes.
I don't know. I've had too many encounters and I know too many people that have had encounters with a person that definitely was like not human, like they were there for a split second and they gave like I guess you could say like a message. And Chris Fleming says, he thinks they're angels. They could be, we don't know. But like he was trying to find an answer about something and he was literally just walking around downtown Chicago and he just had this feeling to go talk to this homeless person and he talked to him for a minute and I don't remember exactly what he said but he said something and it literally like clicked with Chris and then he like started walking away. He's like, wait a minute, and he turned around, the guy was gone, poof. And I
Wow.
have another friend who said that she came into contact with this person that their eyes were like huge. They weren't bit like black, like gray eyes, but they were a lot bigger than a person's. And that this person kind of said this, it was like similar where they got a message, um, something that they've been like wanting, like putting, getting to point A to point A to B. They were unable to get there, and this person said something and it clicked in their mind. And then when same thing with Chris, they started, oh, okay, started walking, and then they were like, well, wait a minute. And they turned around and the person was gone in like
Wow.
empty parking lot where there's no people. They just poof, gone. So I don't know. I do think that same with Sasquatch. I think they're always here and they can cloak themselves and go through different dimensions.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
You would have to bring up that story, Jesse, because okay, all right. So, right after going through this divorce, I'm up here with my good friends. They had a doctor's appointment in Colorado Springs. I go to the doctor's with them. Her husband goes back for his appointment. I'm just sitting here with my friend. She's actually, you might know her, the Feinsteins anyway. So I'm sitting there. We're in the waiting room talking. And this guy walks in, perfect, not a blemish, not a whisker, not the most perfect human I've ever seen in my life. He sits right next to me, and there's other open chairs in the waiting room. Kind of faces in towards me, like, with his knees towards me. Knew my Christmas budget, recommended a book, started talking about things really personal, and I'm just like, who is this person, right? He recommended the book, The Art of Not Giving a Beep, okay? The Art of Not Giving a.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay. So he goes and turned to my friend, I looked back and he just vanished. What was weird is that following weekend we went to a UFO conference in it was the one in Missouri, and they had a bunch of vendor tables, and this one vendor had just stacks and stacks of books. What book was on the very top? Like this, The Art of Not Giving a Beep. And I'm like, you are
Crazy.
crazy right now.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
so
crazy.
Wow.
But I think that person was either an angel or an extraterrestrial or something. He wasn't human. I don't
yeah.
think he was human. And I can't believe I'm saying this on a podcast. I've never told this on a podcast before.
Maybe I was supposed to talk about that first to remind you to talk about that.
Wow.
But I don't know what that was. It was the weirdest thing ever. It was
That's
really
cool.
weird. Yeah. So that happened. That happened.
Wow.
Oh
So,
my
Matthew,
God.
do you have any questions?
Let's see. Since you have no more, where I'm trying to find it in the list of questions here. Where the heck did it disappear? It doesn't
We
want to be at.
we
Where the heck?
just finished extraterrestrial inhabitants.
Yeah.
Like,
My God. Where?
That's too
Hold
funny.
on.
can we
Okay.
edit in like
Oh,
Jeopardy music or something?
no. Okay. Here we go. So
Doo-doo-doo.
this is probably a no-brainer question because I'm sure they know a lot more than they're leading on to. But do you think the governments know than what they're saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I literally think that what the big secret is, what the real reason they don't want to disclose the truth is because of what Jesse said. What Jesse said was brilliant earlier about keeping us distracted, working two or three jobs,
Mhm.
keeping us angry, keeping us divided.
Yep.
Because if we all meditated and we all started to understand the power of this is actually both, power of
Mhm.
both, game changer.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they don't want that.
They don't want that.
All
Nope.
right.
They want
So,
us
like,
busy.
do you ever think disclosure will be inevitable, and like, how would that look?
I don't think
I think
it's. Go
oh,
ahead, Jesse. Go ahead.
I think the ETs are gonna do it. I think they've been waiting for long enough and they're just like, okay, this is getting fucking ridiculous. And they're just because I mean they have been appearing a lot more because I see so much stuff about and I'll like watch the videos or people talking about it, and then more and more people are talking about UFOs and extraterrestrial life and what's actually going on in the world. I've seen so many people question so much since 2020. And I think that that was the reason for 2020 to get people out of their busy lives and
Mhm.
stuck inside so they can actually think and be like, wait, why am I doing this? I'm not happy. Like I know of quite a few people that quit their jobs or moved to a different state or like the decided to leave their abusive partner. Like so many people had so many changes just because people were kind of stuck. And I've been seeing so many more people like awakening and asking me. I get asked so many questions all the time from people I've known for years. So this just happened. I know you're into this weird stuff. Like what do you think this means? And what do you think of this? So I've had like I don't even know how many people that I know like messaging me about like consciousness stuff or extraterrestrials or anything in the paranormal type of stuff because they're actually interested in it now and they're questioning. So I think that I don't really think the government is really going to do anything. If anything, they might try to make us fearful because guess what fear does? It keeps people in control. Like they can control people that are afraid. And if they're like, oh, ETs are bad, they're going to eat you, then people are going to be like, oh my God, and they're going to freak out. And then they're easily controlled and they can still manipulate us. And I don't think the extraterrestrials are going to tolerate that. And they're going to be like, nope, nope, that's not how we are. And that's why they're appearing more. Because if they're appearing so much and they wanted to eat us, why the hell are we still here? So
Right.
Yeah.
that's my view on that. Sorry, tangent.
I just think there's no stopping it at this point. I think
Yeah.
people are talking, people are awakening, and it won't come from the government, but it'll come from all of us. It'll come from all the experiencers, all the people waking up to it. And yeah, there's no stopping it at this point, and I think they know that.
Yep.
All right. Um, where was the next one? So now, if someone has an unexplained experience, where should they begin? Like, who should they talk to, reach out to?
Katie, you can answer
Oh,
that one.
yeah. First and foremost, write it down or put it in your phone, document it any way you can. And then there's a lot of good organizations. If you know, MUFON is one of them. You're wearing the shirt. And then there's others. If you just Google where can I report a UFO, MUFON's not the only game in town, but it's been here since, 1969. They're a good organization to go to.
Wow.
But most importantly, talk to somebody, a trusted friend, a family member. Don't keep it inside because oftentimes it can lead to, like questioning yourself. Oh my God, am I crazy? Depression, all that stuff. It can lead you down some rabbit holes that I think you need support around. So I would definitely say, wherever your comfort lies, um, don't keep it to yourself. Write it down and talk to somebody about whatever it is you're experiencing.
All
I've
right.
actually been noticing that in Facebook groups. Like, yeah, Facebook's stupid and all, but I'm in a lot of different like UFO paranormal groups and I'll see people. So this just happened to me. I don't know who to go to about this. Like, what do you guys think about this? Like, what do you think happened? Or, and asking questions after they have some type of experience. And more than not, actually, people are positive about it and more like, oh, that's awesome that this happened to me or this happened to me. Like my whole thing on why I came out of the paranormal closet was because like I was like I thought I was alone. I didn't think anybody had any experiences like this because the tiny town I went to, I was the crazy chick. And like, oh, I believe in all this weird stuff. And then finding out that there's actually a lot of people and there's actually community when it comes to certain subjects. So seeing people I think the people that haven't experienced it before, seeing other people having similar experiences that kind of helps. That's what helped me a lot. Like, oh my God, you've had that happen? Like when you and I talked about the blue guy that we've seen, I'm like, what? Like, oh my gosh. So it made me feel better knowing that somebody else had the same experience.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. I got two questions left.
Okay.
My God, where where'd it go?
You need
I
new glasses, Matt.
no, I got so many questions in front of me. I keep losing it. Oh yeah. So this could be for like extraterrestrial based or for paranormal investigations. What questions should investigators be asking that they're currently missing when they're out investigating?
Well, that's good.
Hmm.
Kind of touched on it earlier. Just things you normally don't think about, like your mood. What thoughts were you having internally, like Jesse mentioned? Phases of the moon, the weather, all these things. Like, what did you eat even?
Yeah.
Those hot peppers really cause ET sightings. No, I don't know. I think it's important to, of course, it's something I learned early on as an investigator. When you're talking to somebody who has an experience, first of all, make it really comfortable, but don't interrupt them and don't ask leading questions. So let them start from the beginning and go all the way through. Hold your questions to the end. And then when you do have questions you want to inquire, don't ask leading questions. I think that's important when you're talking to somebody who's had an experience to let them tell it from start to finish without any interruptions,
Mhm.
and then go from there.
I think a lot of the questions that people should like especially when it comes to like like ghost investigating. I hate using the word hunting. I'm not hunting a ghost. I'm not hunting Bigfoot. Um like when people are investigating, like try to get more on the spiritual aspect of it instead of like how did you die or like what happened to you. Like I try to stay positive, like what was your favorite part of the day or
Mhm.
what's your favorite meal. I try to stay positive like that when I'm investigating. And when it comes to like CE5s, I haven't had anything telepathic yet, but I try to like ask like where are you from,
Mhm.
how tall are you? Are you male? Are you female? What color's your skin? Like just to get an idea of
Yeah.
maybe who's there and what I'm talking to. Because Arcturus has been a big one for me since all of this started. Um, so like there was this one CE5. I don't know why, but I had to face Arcturus. Like I got my chair and boom, it's right there, and I'm watching it. And sure enough, a really, really bright white light UFO came just poof, came out of nowhere. And I was like, oh my God. And I started recording and I was like, could you power up for me? And it powered up for me. And then I was like, are you from Arcturus? And it powered up. And then like I was kind of just like in shock and then it disappeared. And my one friend who was next to me, I'm like, dude, look. He missed it. And he's like, I think that was just for you. So I don't know. That's those are the ET questions I ask, I guess.
So that kind of ties into my last question, which let's see if you can get a little deeper answer. If you could ask an extraterrestrial one question, if one appeared in front of you right now, what would it be?
Can you take me with you?
Oh.
Hey, I got a coffee mug
One question.
back there somewhere that says "Beam me up, this place sucks." So hey,
Yeah.
there you go.
Oh,
I might ask what their belief is on like life after death.
yeah, that's another one. Yeah, that or like I don't know, like because a lot of the extraterrestrials that my friend Chris has encountered, they believe in God and they're like I don't want to say they're angels, but they're also his creation and they're trying to help humanity because they were asked to do that. So like I would probably ask, the God question. I would ask the Jesus question, as well as, like, what happens when you guys like die? Like,
Mm.
do you die? Like, how old do you get? Because
Right.
there's rumors that some extraterrestrials live like 1,000 years and stuff. So I would be curious to know, like, how long is their lifespan and everything.
Their perception of time.
Yeah, that too. That's another thing. What dimension are you from?
How the heck
Oh
did you
yeah.
get here anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Tell me about your propulsion system. Then we can go be millionaires and sell it to somebody.
There you go.
Oh,
Well,
oh
well,
wow.
I
I just
don't think I have any other questions. I don't know if Jada's had anything that's popped into her head in the last however many
I'm
minutes.
going to ask the question that I ask every single one of our guests whenever we finish, just to kind of end everything with a little bit of levity and on a lighter note. So I want to know what your favorite scary movies are.
Oh, I've answered this so many times.
Yeah, well, I like the Conjuring series. Extraterrestrial, I love the movie Signs. And one of my
Yes.
favorite extraterrestrial movies is No One Will Save You. If you haven't
Never,
seen it,
never heard
you
of
have
it.
got to see it. Matter of fact, I might watch it again tonight. There's no talking in the whole movie.
Really?
Wow.
Hmm, interesting.
No. But you know what? I've seen it so many. I didn't even notice for like the first 20 minutes. It's brilliant. I love that movie. No One Will Save You. It's one of
Have
my
you
favorites.
seen Disclosure Day yet?
I have
I have.
not.
Okay, yeah, that was triggering for me in a
Mm-hmm.
way. Like, oh, like some of the scenes I just started crying,
Me
especially like,
too.
yeah, so
My
that
best
was
friend went and saw that, and she brought a Lego set to put together in the middle of the movie theater in case she got scared.
Oh my God.
Oh, speaking of Legos, Jesse knows about this, but damn Lego's gonna take about $200 of me. They have coming next month an X-Files Lego set where
What?
it's
Oh.
Mulder's office, and then above that the woods with the UFO beaming somebody up.
I need to get that too.
That's
Dang
I
it.
just
cool.
saw that
Ah.
today. I'm like, this has got to be AI generated. No, I want the Lego website. It's a real thing. I'm like, damn it.
That's so
Oh my
funny.
gosh.
I
Yeah,
know
I
what
have
my son can get me for Christmas. They can all pool in and get mom
right.
that for Christmas. I love Legos. Love
Yeah.
Legos.
You know
That's
what?
too
Another
funny.
movie I just thought of I haven't seen in a long time. that Jodie Foster Contact movie.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that one lately too, actually, now that I know what I know now.
Right.
That's a favorite too. That's a
The
good one. We watched that one last
Signs
week,
was one of my
actually.
favorites when I was a kid, and like my mom and I like when it shows the guy on the roof, and like we were like, "Oh my God!" Like, wait, did you see that? And we paused it and everything, but like when it walks past the camera and all that, yeah, that
Yeah.
was fascinating as well as like they couldn't be by water. That's like
Yeah.
another like War of the Worlds, how like our viruses and bacteria killed all of them because they weren't used to it. So yeah, Signs is definitely one of my favorite like extraterrestrial ones, Conjuring series with like the Annabelle in there and everything too. But like most, it depends on the movies. Ever since I guess you could say became a Reiki master, I can't really watch fear-based stuff that much anymore. Steve hates that because we used to watch scary movies all the time. But like if it's especially if it's like gory, stabby type of movie, I can't do it. It just
Mhm.
bothers me because you can just feel the fear, I guess you could say, on the screen. So I
Yeah.
don't really watch too many scary movies.
I don't know.
It's almost 9 o'clock
Well,
already. Wow.
Yes, it is.
almost. It's almost 10 for me.
Oh yeah, you're an hour ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that that's all that we have for tonight. So thank you guys so much for joining us and for answering all of our questions. I had a great time.
Yeah, same here.
And I hope to have you guys on soon again. So thank you
Well,
guys so much. And I hope you have a
yes.
great rest of your nights.
You
Thank you
too.
for having me.
Yep. All
Yeah,
right. Have a good night, everybody.
sure.